Bishala, he's in real life.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to United Capital Securities Investment webinar. Thank you to everyone who have joined. We're very delighted to have you here. And I'll just give a brief introduction while we wait for other people to join. So United Capital PLC Group is Africa's leading Pan-African investment bank and financial services institution. We pride ourselves in leveraging on technology to empower individuals, businesses, the government across the globe, with our excellent financial services. In this same vein, to empower people with financial literacy and knowledge, we are now going to launch our first webinar for the year. I'm so excited because this topic is how to buy your first stock. There's so much buzz about stock trading. There's so much buzz everywhere. I think the conversation is getting bigger on Instagram, on Twitter. Everyone is talking about it. How do you buy your first stock? What's stock trading? What people trade? What's trading and all of that. So that's why we're here to talk about. So to go into this, we're going to start to dissect the topic. I have two wonderful speakers with me. They are investment enthusiasts and professionals. First of all, I would introduce the first person. First person is Abidin Alade. Abidin Alade is the head trader of United Capital PLC. He has over 11 years in equity, stock trading, and portfolio management. We also have the delectable Sholafumi, who is a media professional, and she's the head of Wealth Monthly. She's also a very, very big investment enthusiast. And finally, you have me, Martha Ehizele. a financial analyst, and I am also the digital and retail sales strategist at United Capital Securities. I also manage the online trading platform. So before we go right into the business of the day, I'm going to give like a minute to our speakers to just introduce and wet the ground. I think we're here to plant. So going first, ladies first. Okay, so I'll give Sholafumi the floor.
Thank you so much, Martha, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Super excited to be here. My name is Sholafumi, and you probably would know me as Charles at Wealth Monthly on Instagram. I'm so excited to be joining the team today to tell you all about stocks. What I try to do each time is that when we talk about stocks, I try to make it very simple, because I believe that anyone truly can invest in stocks. You don't have to be a professional to start to invest and get a lot of gains from stocks. So I'm one of the people that benefited from it, and I'm hoping that today we get to share that wisdom with everyone so that we can all start really investing ASAP. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm also very excited, and I can't wait for us to go right into it. So next, I'm going to give the floor to Abidin Alade.
Thank you very much, Martha, for that flattery introduction. I'm very excited to be here today as well. Like you mentioned, equities trading, there's a lot of noise around it. There's a lot of mythical misconception about trading equities. Very, very happy to be here today to demystify all that, to let our audience know that you don't need to be a guru in analyzing charts, analyzing financial statements for you to be able to partake, in equities trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and as well to drive the point home as well that you don't need to, have a fortune for you to, own investments in most of the blue chip companies you see around in the country. Super excited to be here today, Martha. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abidin. Thank you very much, Sholafumi. I see that we have more participants. Thank you to everyone who's just joining. I want us to go right into this, but I'd want to know that this is a session that we want everyone to benefit from. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A tab. So you're allowed to put your questions there. And we also have the audience on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you can drop your questions in the comment section, and we would get to answer them. So going right into it. I mean, how to buy your first stock. But we need to understand what stock trading in the most simplified terms. Like, this is not textbook. This is not a pitch to some top manager. This is us explaining what is stock trading. But how do you even tell an 11-year-old what stock trading is? I'll let Abidin take the floor.
Thank you very much, Martha. So like you mentioned, so what is stock trading? Why do people go into stock trading? Right. So stock trading is one of the vehicles that you have for investing. Right. I'm sure most of our audience here agrees that it's important that we invest some part of our money in savings for the raining days or raining season. But how do we go about investing this money? You keep some form in cash. I know you keep some form in some other instruments, cryptos, fixed income, what have you. But equities investment is also one of those vehicles that allows you to invest. And when you buy equities, so when you buy equities, you are buying into a company. And what that does is it gives you a piece of that company. We do that in our normal lives every day, just that we don't give it names. Say, for instance, Sholafumi has a flourishing business, and she's gotten to a point where she thinks she can really, really, really upscale her business. And she just put it all across to me. Abidin, you know what? My business is currently doing well. I have some supplies to make, but I'm running low on cash to make this kind of supply. Can you extend me some cash there? Right? At the end of the supply, I'm expecting a 20% return. I'll cut you a 5%, or I'll cut you a 10% based on the amount you've invested. What I've done is, if I give Sholafumi that money, what I've done is buy a piece of our business in expectation for a return at a future date. That is me buying a stock in Sholafumi's investment. So the only difference between you doing this on the floor of the exchange, or doing this with a family and friends, or doing this with your partner, is just on the floor of the exchange is more formal, right? But the principle behind it is still the same. So when you buy a share of United Capital, what you are doing is you are becoming a shareholder of United Capital. So that at the end of the year, if United Capital come out to say we've made X amount of billion and we are paying X amount in dividend, you are expecting that dividend on a pro rata basis. So if you have a 1,000 share United Capital, they're paying 150 couple like they just did recently. I'm expecting a 1,500 naira, right? If I have 100,000 shares in United Capital, I'm expecting a 150,000 naira as dividend at the end of the day. And because they are doing well, it's also expected that the market would appreciate that, and you see that in the value of the shares, which means I could have bought it maybe a 4 naira, a 5 naira some years back. And as I close of business on Friday, it's already trading for 10 naira, right? Which means, I've made a reasonable investment that has appreciated in value and which gives me a steady return at the end of each year in form of dividend. So to drive the point home, investing in equities is basically just buying a piece of a business. So if you buy well, buying well, that's the key word. If you buy well, over the years, you get decent return. Thank you very much.
Very, very fantastic. Thank you, Abidin. I mean, after 11 years, I'm sure you could even sleep and talk about stock trading. But I noticed that while you were speaking, Shalafimi was so enthusiastic. Like, I could literally see her nodding at everything you said. And I'm like, oh, okay, can we get to her now? So Shalafimi.
Yes, I think Abidin is spot on. You can tell the experience in stock trading shows. For me, what I try to think of when I think of what is stock, what is investing in stock, is really about you looking like a piece of pizza. So think of a box of pizza and think of how it is in slices. So if you buy a box of pizza, imagine a company that you love. All these great companies in the world is a box of pizza. If you buy a tiny piece of that pizza, or you take a bite of that pizza, what you've done is to buy a tiny piece of that company. So that's all you do when you invest. And the beauty of this is this. Imagine how great United Capital is now. All of these great people who work for this company, and you buy a tiny piece of that company. In essence, not directly, but indirectly, all of these people are working for you. That's what I love about stocks. All of these people are waking up in the morning, going to work, getting paid salaries, and you own a piece of that company. Now, expand that to some of the biggest companies in the world: Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Etsy. Think of all of it. You can own a piece right from the comfort of your home, the comfort of your smartphone. That's what investing is. That's what investing in stocks in. So it's literally buying into a living, breathing company that you can recognize. So and I think like you said, it's one of the best things you can do to yourself. You pick the right one, and I promise you that you're securing not just your future, but that for your generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalafumi. But I'm going to ask a question. Like, I don't know if you probably met a friend of mine before you came here. So I'll give a story, a very short story before we run along. So some time ago, I had to market digital stock trading to some friends. And they said, oh, fine, we're going to do it. Oh, okay, fine. Just drop all the link and all. And on a Monday morning, I got a text from a friend of mine telling me to resume at his house. And I'm confused. Like, resume at your house. I'm not quite sure what he meant. And I called him, is everything okay? Like, what happened the previous night? Why are you telling me to resume at your house? And he says, I just bought United Capital stock, so you work for me. And I was really, I had to tell him, well, technically, I don't necessarily work for you, but I mean, when we make money, you would also make money and all your dividends, and also keep your bragging rights at your income. Well, let's go next into the next question. I want to say that I know everything about human change is the only constant thing. So things always change as time goes on. So I'm really interested in knowing how has stock trading evolved over the years? Like, how did it start? What were the notable things that happened? How did we get here? And Abidin, would you mind helping us with that question?
Yeah, thank you very much, Martha. The stock trading business has seen a lot of changes over the years. I mean, a lot of changes, even before I joined the markets. Far back when we had the open cry method of trading, where there was no technology, it was more or less what you see in auction today. You see an umpire, you see the buyer, bidders, you see someone at the middle, I'll take this for 5, going. Someone else says, maybe I'll pay 550 and stuff like that. But now we've seen a lot of technology innovation. We've seen technology advancements, which means stock trading can now be done with greater ease. You could trade from the comfort of your home. Gone are those days, even at the initial stage when technology was introduced, You still need to, literally move from your house to a broker's office for you to get an account opened. Probably move from the broker's office to a bank for you to fund your accounts. Leave the bank, go back to the broker's office with evidence of payment for you to fill a mandate and all that. But we've gone past that now. So from the comfort of your home, right, you could just open your tab or open your laptop, open an account, fund the account, execute your trade without stress, right? You don't even need to be in that zone. You could be elsewhere. You could be offshore and you're trading Nigerian market. All you need is to have internet connectivity into, right, and you are trading any market. Basically, you're trading any market across the globe. Another thing that I think for me has changed is also regulatory supervision, right? Gone are the days when people are thinking, so you're telling me investment in stock market is for long-term, right? And when I mean long-term, I mean more than a year investment, right? So how am I sure that my money is safe? If I give you my money to invest, how am I sure that I can come back in the next 12 months to get that money from you, right? Without me being afraid of anything happening to my money. That is where the regulation has come in. Because now your stock account is linked to your bank account, right? So when you buy, you fund your account through your bank, maybe through a card or through a transfer, right? When you sell, the proceeds of the sales go straight back into your account. So when you stand to earn dividend as well, your dividend goes straight into your account. Gone are those days when registrars print paper dividend, send it to your post office, then you have the postman looking for your address all over the places. Before your house is even located, maybe that particular dividend has stalled. So you're not getting value for your investments. All those are now, done with ease because dividend will be paid into your bank account. Proceeds of sales is paid into your bank account with ease. So you can easily reinvest. You can easily get your return and what have you. And I think that has made stockbroking, even now, we can now take it to the lower tiers, even of the economy. You don't need to have millions like people used to think. Now with 1,000, with 2,000, you could start building something. Just be deliberate about it. So imagine every month you put 10,000 into your stockbroking account. That means at the end of the year, you have an investment worth at least 120,000. But I can even assure you, if you select your stocks right, at the end of one calendar year, the value of your investment can never be 120,000 because you would have earned dividend. Some of these stocks would definitely have gained in value. So you would have more than 120 at the end of the year. So now imagine you doing this over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. In fact, the upside is limitless. Thank you, Wata.
Thank you very much, Abidin. I hear you, I see you. And one interesting thing is that statistics has shown that even when you had stock trading very difficult, like all the things you mentioned, we had a percentage of people believe in it more than people do now. And I mean, with how easy it is now with the whole digital thing, like being the digital person here, I really understand how easy it is. Like, it's so easy that even the person who markets stock trading to you doesn't even have to know what you're buying, doesn't even have an access to your account. You can literally be anywhere in the world and you can buy, you can access advisory and all of that. So, I mean, this is made easier now, and there's a whole lot of reasons why everyone should embrace this. Thank you very much, Abidin. I'd want to go right in the next question, but I'm seeing that we have people dropping their questions in the chat box. Please, everyone, we have a Q&A. So when you look at the bottom of whatever you're using, your phone or your laptop, you see there's a Q&A. It has a chat icon. Please drop your questions there. It's easier for us to get the questions from there and attend to them as we go on with the webinar. Please, thank you. So the next question is, okay, now we understand stock here. We understand stock. So I want to know, why should anyone buy stocks? Sholafumi, why should anyone buy stocks? I mean, they say everyone is not meant to do something here, but why are we propagating that everyone buys stock?
So the easiest, there's different reasons to buy stocks. And I'm going to really talk about 3 of some of the great reasons why I buy stocks and why you should start to consider it too. I think the first thing is when you invest in the right companies, you're literally putting your money to work. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. As human beings, a lot of us, no matter how strong you are, you cannot work 24 hours in a day. By the time it gets to 12 hours of work, you start to get tired. But you see, your money is very different. Your money can work 24/7, 365 days a year, 10 years in a decade, centuries and centuries without getting tired. You put your money in the right company, in the right place, and it will multiply like the sands at the seashore. And it will outlive you, outlive your children, your children's children. That's why we hear all these big names today, the Rockefellers and all of those things. What they did right was they invested right. So when you invest and you buy great stocks, great companies, what you're doing for yourself is having your money do the work, is having your money go to work. I cannot work for United Capital, but my money can work with United Capital and get me some more money. So what you do when you invest and you buy stocks is, number one, you are getting your money to do the hard work. The second one that I love so much, when you invest in the right stocks or right ETFs, what you're doing is you're beating inflation. Every single Tom, Dick, and Maria in the world now understands what inflation is. You go to the market last year with 100K, you know what you buy. This year, you go with the same 100K, you know what you buy. Inflation is the hidden tax that is there that nobody knows. You just know that your money is not worth it again. I think at the last check, it was about 16% inflation that has affected Nigeria. And you think of that. Whereas if you invested in the right stocks, if you invested in the right companies, what you can do is to beat inflation. So for example, like Abidin was rightly saying, you buy a company today and the stock was 1 naira. And you buy 100,000 shares of it. And then by the end of the year, because this company has worked very hard, the staff have worked hard, everyone has done well, they've made money. Now that company has gained or got into 1 naira 30 kobo. In essence, without lifting a finger, the value of your 100K that you invested at the beginning of the year has made money, has gotten into 130K. So if you were selling it today, you get your money back, you've beaten inflation. The third one that I love so much is that who doesn't like free money? If you know you don't like free money, just raise up your hand that I don't like free money. That's what I consider dividends are. So when companies have, declared their income, they've done everything, they've declared and they've gotten money, what they do as a good company, as a listed company, is they give you dividends, they pay you. Some of the best money that I've spent in my life, that I've enjoyed spending, I tell you, is dividend, because it's money I did not have to lift a muscle for. It's money that my money made for me. It's not money that I went to work in the morning, worked very hard and got it at the end of the month. And I'm like, salary has come. No, it's money that my money did. I put my money somewhere, it worked so hard, and then it gave me money. So those are the reasons why you want to invest. There's various reasons, but I think for every beginner, these are the 3 reasons I want you to hold in your mind when you start to invest. You're beating inflation, your money is doing the hard work, so you're multiplying the money they're getting in, and very importantly too, you're getting dividends. I think these are the greatest reasons why you should start to consider investing today. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you very much, Olafumi. I can really feel the enthusiasm about investing. So I'm just going to quickly add to that. Yeah, I know sometimes there's always conversations online. We're talking about everything is going up. People are saying everything is going up, but their salaries aren't going up. I think Olafumi she helped us take care of that issue, because that's the only way your money gets to grow. So you're saving your money, you're investing your money, and when you're getting it back, that money is beating inflation, even when your salary is not increasing. But you get to beat inflation. Thank you very much. I'm also going to address the guys on YouTube. Please drop your questions in the comment section. We get to answer them later on. Thank you very much. So there's so much reasons why we should invest in stock trading. There's the beating inflation, there's capital appreciation where your money increases. There's also dividends that comes separate from capital appreciation. But the thing is that a lot of people, with all these good reasons, a lot of people still think that this concept of stock trading is very difficult and complicated. And most times you find out that people would want to shy away and go to lesser, more complex investment options. And I really want to know, why is this, and how can we mitigate this? I want to get the views. I want to get views from both of you, but I'll let Abidin take this first.
So thank you very much, Martha. I hear this a lot about how investing in equities is very, very complicated, how it's very, very risky. But I think I can tell you from my experience, all business endeavors, in fact, all life endeavors themselves are risky, right? I think the only way we go about mitigating these risks is understanding, understanding all aspects of the kind of risk we are taking. Even leaving your home in the morning to go to work, drive to work is risky, in Lagos and everywhere. But it's just you understanding your route, the route to take every day and where you go, at what time, that allows you or that help you mitigate this risk. Investing in equities is the same. First and foremost, you have to understand the instrument you're investing in, which is why at United Capital, we take this kind of session very, very seriously. And we use that to bridge the knowledge gap, to give audience, prospective investors, to give them comfort in investing in equities. When I talk to my friend at times about investing in equities, the first thing that comes to their mind is if they need to understand charts, if they need to understand, be able to analyze financial statements, if they need to, get a newspaper to check price lists on a daily basis, or they need to stay glued to, Bloomberg or CNN to keep abreast with what is happening all over the globe for their investment to be safe. But that is not the case. That is why you have professionals, right? You don't even need to speak to an RBG on a daily basis for you to be able to invest in equities, because we have a platform. We have a platform that allows you to do that allows you to see what the market dynamics are. We have a platform that shows you what prices of stocks are. We have a platform and a medium where we communicate what you should be buying in terms of stock recommendation. And the stock recommendation is so rich so that we will tell you the entry price, the exit price. If you're a long-term or medium to long-term investor, we tell you what you're expecting from these companies in terms of dividend. So we do as much as possible to make sure that we don't just tell you, come and get onboarded, start investing. We guide you every way of the step. But going back to just basic things you need to know about investing in equities. One I mentioned earlier on, it's not a short-term investment. Don't put your money in the market for 2 weeks because a friend or a colleague told you he or she had done it and made serious of money, because equities market is cyclical. Maybe the guy just came in at the very right time and was very, very lucky. The guy came in 2 weeks to when the company is paying a dividend. Of course, there are catalysts, and which means the price of that company could skyrocket at that period and it was able to catch up. But what if it's at the beginning of a quarter, and a quarter is 3 months, and the company is not expected to bring in results at least a month after the end of the quarter? So by my calculation, that is already 4 months, which is why we always advise when you come into the equities market, have it in mind that you are going into a long-term investment, at least 1 year, but which has short-term benefits. Another important thing to know is that the market has its inherent risk. First of it is concentration risk. And there are mitigants. So what do I mean by concentration risk? It applies to all aspects of our life. There's this saying that says, don't put all your eggs in the basket. The same thing applies to equities markets. We have over 260 stocks listed. Now you want to invest. Don't say because United Capital looks to be the best performing in the market based on recent results, then you want to put all your money in United Capital shares. Or I know MTN are very, very popular, then I'm buying only MTN shares. Or I use Airtel over the years, they are trust and worthy, I'm putting my money. We always advise diversify. So how do you mitigate? Look for the best in each of the sectors listed. Invest in those companies, bit by bit in those companies, such that if an economy if a particular sector is not doing well and is affecting stocks listed in that sector, you'll be sure that some other sector might be doing well, so that those ones will be giving you value in your portfolio. Another risk to note is volatility risk. Like I mentioned earlier on, our market is cyclical. You have a period when the market is just up, especially during the earnings seasons, when a lot of companies come to the market with results and dividend payments. Like Shola Bumi mentioned, everyone loves free money. Dividend is free money. So because everybody's chasing that free money, you tend to see prices, skyrocket. And if I'm coming before that period, that will be the time I'll be looking to exit, take some of my gains, right?
Yeah.
So how do you mitigate volatility? Go long. So when you are long enough in the market, that guarantees that you will see the high period.
Yeah.
The opportunity to sell. You also see the low period, which gives you opportunity to come back in and buy at a very, very low price. But if you are just in for a short period, then there is that high probability that you won't see the both sides of the market, the low and the high. And one of the basic principles of trading is that you want to buy low and sell high.
Sell high.
right? So how do you mitigate volatility rates? Go long, right? So I've mentioned concentration rates, I've mentioned volatility rates. There is also the market rates. Like I mentioned, it's just inherent in market, in any commodity market, that the market is up and down. So how do you mitigate that? Have a stop loss. You could do an analysis. Your broker could do an analysis and tell you, Mobile, fantastic results. We're expecting fantastic dividend. Put your money in Mobile. And Iraq happens, or Russia, Ukraine happens, and crude oil price is suffering, and the price of that sector, downstream sector, is nosediving. So what do? Just cut your loss. That doesn't mean that Mobile is now a bad investment. All it means is something that happened outside your control that's impacting the value of that company. So don't be sentimental about it. Sell. Going to banking sector, going to another sector where you could recoup whatever you lost. So it's important that when you are going in, that you have a risk appetite.
Yes. For
me, I could do up to 20%. So if I'm investing 100%, 100 naira in an investment, and I'm expecting it to go up maybe by 30%, I tell myself the downside I can take is maybe 20%, which means if the valuation, for any reason, if the valuation drops to 80 naira tomorrow, I will pull off that investment. I'll go into something else to recover my 20 naira. That means it's not working. That doesn't mean I can't come back to that investment later. It could just be that Russia, Ukraine happens and my investment is suffering. I don't need to be sentimental about it, that because I have that mindset that Mobile should do 150. So I must be there until it touches 150. That's why the fact that something else that happened that means it's now doing 18 naira or 17 naira. So is another one to keep in mind. The last bit is liquidity risk. Liquidity risk. So people tell me, can I put my money today and come back tomorrow and take out my money? Yes, you can. Right? You can put your money today and you come tomorrow, is already gaining and you need money and you want to sell. You can do that. But you can only do that if that asset is liquid, which is also why it's important that when you are selecting your stock, ensure that you are going into stocks that are very, very liquid. I tell people, don't buy because it's cheap. Buy because the company is fundamentally strong, that they've demonstrated over years that they consistently pay returns. Because that also speaks to why people make you liquid. Liquidity means people buy and sell the shares of that company on a daily basis.
Yes.
Right. So you don't want to go into a company that hardly trades because people don't buy such company, but because you think it's cheap, then that is where you want to put your money. So how to mitigate that risk is ensuring that you are buying companies that are very, very liquid. And if you log onto your system, you will be able to tell if a stock is liquid. So if everyone is trading in millions and you check your own stock, you are seeing market trade, the stock has only traded 10, 15, or 1,000 for a day, then that tells you, and you watch over this, the story is still the same. They hardly trade, in fact, they hardly even trade in thousands on a daily basis. I'll say don't put your money there. Thank you very much, Mata.
Thank you, Dean. Like I was going to say, it took us from beginner to expert. You promoted everything. I think it's very, very important to know that he's selling advisory generally. Like this is, and I think the secret behind the stock market is the right time. I think when anyone says, just in a very short sentence, just the right time. And how do you know the right time? Advisory. I would not take over. I would just give it back to Sholafumi so she can also touch on the question in how we can mitigate this notion of the complex thing that's around stock trading.
Thank you, Martha, and thank you, Abidin, for the very detailed explanations. So for me, what I always try to do when you think of stock trading is, it's really not as hard as you make it sound. Forget all the big terms, the alpha, the beta and stuff. What I want you to take away is, what am I buying? Why am I buying this company? Is it a great company? When you invest in a company, you essentially invest in the leaders of that company. Who is the leader of this company? Is the company great enough? Is the leader, do they know what they're doing? Have they paid dividends over the last couple of years? Is it a bank that everyone is still using? Is it a company that everyone still loves? All of those things are the very least of things that you sort of try to put at the back of your mind when you want to buy a stock. Again, what I've seen is most people are already with this notion, this olden days notion that we had that, to buy stock, you will have to go to the bank and you will do this, you do that. Thank God for a lot of new companies, United Capital included, which has made things extremely easy. All the shares that I've bought in my life, I have bought from the comfort of my smartphone. I have bought on apps like Invest Now. That's what I've done. I've not gone anywhere. As a matter of fact, if anyone tells me now that there's any stock that they are sharing in one bank, you are your own. I don't have the time to go. So if there's no app where I can put in my money, do all the KYC, everything, then I'm not going to do it. So it's just letting people know, and it's that explanation, that fact that, look, it's not as complicated as before. It's not. I've seen a lot of people who still reach me. I still got about 3 calls yesterday, people asking that, my father bought this share in those days. How do I go and locate it? Please help me. Are you people doing that? I'm like, no, that's not what we do here. But I'm sure United Capital might be able to help in some way. But honestly, that's not the way the world is now. The world has gone beyond waiting for only like rich people, or waiting for like holding. There's waiting for to go into a bank to do that. No, all you need to do nowadays is sit down with your system, sit down with your mobile phones, research into the companies you want to buy, know who leads them, all of those things, and then buy in the comfort of the apps that you use. United Capital is a great one. The Invest Now is a great one for it, and there's lots of other, for international stocks and all. But Invest Now has been a fantastic one just to buy shares very easily at the comfort. So forget all those big names, forget all the stuff. Have the basics in mind. What we call the fundamentals. Is it a good company? Who are the leaders of this company? Is it a future-proof company, meaning that this company now, if I'm buying this company, for example, I don't expect anyone now to go and be investing in taxis when you know that there's Uber. You see what I'm saying? So look for a company that is future thinking. They're already thinking of different things in the future. Those are the sort of companies that you want to start to invest in. And that's what you want to put in mind when you start to buy. Look for international things, companies that can travel, companies whose goods are not seated in one place. So if something happens in that place, they're affected. So some of those little things you start to put in place when you start to invest. I promise you, if someone like myself, who is really a tech media person, can invest, can buy shares, can consistently buy shares, I promise you that even you can start to invest. Yeah, even you can start to buy now.
Thank you very much, Sholafumi. I hear you. I see you. Everything she said is very easy. Like, you could literally sit in your home and open an account. No one is going to say, come anywhere and bring your documents physically or bring this and that. In less than 5 minutes, when you go on investnow.ng, you can open an account and you can start trading as early as, and mind you, you do not even have to have money. So that's one misconception people have. I want to have money. Well, let me have money first before I start to invest. No, you can prepare, just write everything. Yeah. So I want to extend the question with you, Sholafumi. I know you've touched on a lot of things, but I just want you to make it very simplified. So if I want to buy shares, what's the first thing a person should consider? Like, what's that first thing in very simplified terms? Okay, consider this, and do this immediately. Like, I just want I want that point to hit home. I want it to hit home very well.
For a lot of people, there are different things you want to consider. For me, I think of very basic things. I'm one of those people that when I invest, or when I start to invest, I invest for long term. I don't invest money, and I'll never advise you to invest money you need this year to put it in the stock market, because anything can happen. I mean, who knew that Putin would do what it's doing now? So anything can happen. So, but you know that in the long term, when we say long term in investing, is about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you know that this money will do the work. And that's really where you see the magic of investing. It's really in the long term, when you let your money go. That's when you can see your 100,000 naira become 1 million, 3 million, 10 million, because you put it in the right companies and you let the magic of compound interest and time act on it. So those are the first things you want to do. You want to ensure that you want to invest for the long term. If you are a beginner, please don't trade. I beg you. When I mean don't trade, don't do buying today, selling tomorrow, making 1 naira here, making so you will lose money. Don't bother. Just do long term. Buy your stocks, buy them for great reasons. Some of the reasons that I invest in, I don't know all of the biggest financial terms and all, but like I've told you, number one, which company is it? What industry is this company in? Is it that industry that everybody needs, everybody wants? Is it a company that people are using? Are they leaders in their industry? Do they have competitive advantage? Meaning that if I see their name alone, does it make me want to buy? Does it make me want to work with their brand? Is their service unique? Is it scalable? When we say scalable, it means that, is it only in Nigeria that everybody's using this company? Or can this company be used in everywhere in Africa? Can it be used in China? So it increases the fact that it can make money. So it's little things like that. The leaders of the companies are very important. Who is the person? Who are the people leading this company? So those little things are what I look out for, especially when I invest. I mean, there's also the quantitative one where you look at the numbers and all of those things. I'm not great in that, but I'm great in looking at who is this company? How great are they? Are they future-proof? Are they companies that will be there in the future? Is it like buying a taxi now instead of using Uber? Is it, those sort of little things? That's what I look out for. And that's what I'll say, make that part of your plan when you start to invest. And then the next one for me is ease. How easy is it to invest? Guys, I promise you, a lot of millennials and young people today want to invest. The reason they do not invest is really because there is no ease. Everyone wants you to bring your passports to one bank or to one place. But if I can easily do it at the comfort, every single investment I've done is at the comfort of my smartphone. If I can do it at the comfort of my smartphone, then I can invest. So that ease of being invested and ease of selling. I sold a couple of shares very recently because I was buying a property, and that made me feel very good. I had invested for the last couple of years and I was able to withdraw that amount and take it to a property and buy it. And it's not because of anything. It's because I'd learned to invest. All of these things was done at the comfort of my phone. I didn't have to go anywhere. I simply clicked buy and I clicked sell. That's as simple as it is. So those are the reasons, those are the things you want to put in mind. And those are some of the first thoughts that you should bathe your mind in when you want to start investing. So I hope I've been able to make it very simple for us, Martha.
Yes, I agree. I'm following you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wish we really had the whole day for all of us to go into this. We have plenty of questions. Thank you so much to everyone who's attended. Like, I'm seeing all the questions, and I think we really need to start asking questions now. We had some other things we needed to talk about, but we would want to answer your questions. So it's very engaging. So so the first question is, I have some units of shares with MTN. How can I buy more? Abidin, do you mind helping us with that?
Okay, thank you very much. Martha, that's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is, so I'm sure probably the units you have is from recent IPO, and now you want to go into the capital market to buy more. All you need is to open an account. I think even by now you have an account, because for you to participate in that IPO, you would have needed a CHN number or a CSS account number. So now all you need to do is fund the account with your broker and give an instruction that you want to buy more MTN shares. So your broker can just go into the market and buy that for you. But like we said, stockbroking has gone beyond that. If you were to be a client of United Capital, all you need to do is just fund your investment account, log on to the markets at any time of your choice during trading, and just buy MTN shares. It's as simple as that. Like Sholabu mentioned earlier on, you just click buy. The model comes up, you put the units you want to buy, the price at which you want to buy it, and you are good.
Thank you very much, Abidin. We also have Babajide Ajala. He said, hi, how do you enter the stock market when you have little capital and knowledge? And there's a second question from Client Delight. It says, how do I go about trading on NSA from home? So Babajide and Client, thank you so much for this question. I think I'll just try to throw it back to what our panelists had touched on. We talked about digital and how right now we can trade from anywhere in the world. Literally, you don't have to go anywhere. And for you who have probably little capital and you don't have so much knowledge, fine, visit trade.investnow.ng. You can open an account there and you can also start to trade. So like I said, we also advisory. So you're not alone. The app doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it alone. The app is just like you are just executing, you're imputing, but we have places where we give you what you need to do. And of course, our lines are always open to talk to people who want to talk about their plans and their advisory. So please get on trade.investnow.ng and start trading. We're here for you. And the next one says from Abiodun, Hi, my name is Juliana Festus Chinedu. I bought shares from two banks, Access and First Bank in 2005, and I don't have any idea about the shares. Is how can a broker handle my case? I'll let Abidin take this quickly so we can move to others.
Okay, thank you very much, Abiodun, for that question. I think we have a product that we call Utrace. So this is not a problem that just peculiar to you. We've over the years we've held these type of sessions. We've heard people say before the last market crash in 2008 that they invested in markets and now they can't locate their shares. Don't forget those days, like I mentioned earlier on. It used to be that they send you your paper dividend, they send you a paper certificate. Maybe you've moved, you've changed what's it called, the house, and they've taken it to your old address and all that, and there was no forwarding address, but gone are those days. So we talked about it at United Capital, and what we've done to bridge this gap is to come up with Utrace, right? So all you need to do is just open an account with United Capital, right? So like in your own case, you even have an idea.
Yeah, I think Martha, you're mute. I think Amidi's internet or network must have gone
Probably
crazy.
having some issues. Yeah. Okay, so I'll pick up before he gets back in. So yeah, we offer such services. We have a product called Utrace. So what we do is that you just provide us with very, very, very little detail, like your name, probably when you bought the stock, and we have a process for that. Do not forget to go to our website, www.unitedcapitalplcgroup.com. You can also chat with us on the website and get more answers to all the questions. But yes, we can take care of that. There's another.
Martha, I just wanted to quickly touch on that point with you.
Okay.
So you mean that your team and some of the services you offer as United Capital is to help people really trace their bought stocks and all of those things. Wowza.
Exactly. Without documents, yeah. Without just giving your name.
Oh my gosh.
Your name. That's all. The names you think you used.
Nice. There's a lot of our parents who have loads and loads of this, and I think this is a great service that everyone needs to know about. And you said it's called Utrace?
Yes, Utrace. That's what the product is called. So when you go on investnow.ng, you click on Securities and you click on Utrace, and that's how you can access it. So you can do it without even speaking to us. But if you want to speak to us, fine. You can always reach out to us and we would process that for them.
Thank you very much. That's a brilliant service.
Thank you. I think some of the questions are quite repetitive. So this Dan says, how does one trace his stock when the initial company has gone through several mergers? Yes, so it's still the same thing. If you have issues tracing your stocks because one way you can't find your names, that's why we're here. We're advisory. We'll give you the right details if the stocks have metamorphosed into a different name or if they have been delisted. All that detail will help you with that. How do you know the right company to invest in? I'm thinking that if I let our panelists go through some of these questions, they're probably just going to say the same things that they've been saying. I know Shalafumi talked about looking at how, like you're thinking about, oh, this is how this company is their financials is good. We look at companies and we literally know companies are good, but we do not advise you to just make those assumptions because of how a company looks. That's where advisory comes in. So if you're not very, very expert level yet, you can always talk to us and we can let you know this is what to buy. And like we said, a right company may not be okay for you to buy at the wrong time. So it's just basically at the right time. Thank you. So if you have an existing account with UBA, and do you need to open a new account for the stock? Yes, you need to open an investment account, a CSS account, by the way, for the stock. Go on trade.investnow.ng and we have that sorted for you. What's the minimum to start? Please, what's the minimum to start? Please share numbers we can call. Abidin, do you want to answer that?
Matt, I love that bit and I hear it a lot. The minimum amount to start investing, or when is the best time to invest? And my answer is almost always the same. The best time to start investing is now. And you like to hear the fact that you don't even need a dime to open a stockbroking account. And you can start investing with as low as 8,000 naira. Yeah, you had that right. 1,000 naira, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. But what is important is if you build this, that you build these over time, right? So we have some companies on the floor of the exchange that is just trading for less than 10 naira. So with 1,000 naira, that means you can buy some couple of 100 units, right? And you think it's small, but you'll be surprised. If you're consistent at doing it every week, every month, you'll be surprised what you have at the end of the year. So to drive my point home, you don't need a dime to open a stock account. And with as little as 1,000 naira, you can start investing in the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. Thank you, Mata.
Thank you very much, Abidin. I hear you, I see you. Thank you so much. There are lots of questions here. I'm really happy. I wish we had all the time to answer them. We have a question that says, is there anything like referral bonuses when one refers another? Yeah, we have a referral scheme on Invest Now. Yes, we have that. So when you download the app and you start to refer people, yes, there is. Thank you for that question. Does it mean buying stocks or equity makes one a shareholder of such companies? Yes, exactly. It makes you a part owner. Yes, exactly. It makes you a part owner. We've answered this. Is there a remotable office in Lagos State? Yes, we do. We have an office in Lagos State. We have an office in Lagos State. You can always get our address when you go on the website, www.unitedcapitalplc.com. The address is there for everyone to see. And there are numbers there that you can reach us on. Thank you.
Sorry, Martha, I just wanted to add something quickly to something you said, and I think that's something that makes United Capital really unique. It's the fact that for a lot of us now, especially millennials and all, a lot of us are investing, buying shares, buying stocks, Nigerian and non-Nigerian and all. But what's great about United Capital and what they bring to the table is that if you vex that, I want to do this, or I want to do so. There's a place to enter, to walk into. Most of these other apps, you don't even know where their office is. Some of them don't even have offices in Nigeria. Exactly. But for United Capital, you're able to say at the end of the day, now those people, let me reach their office in Ikeja. Let me reach their office in VI. Do you understand? So that's an extra bonus. And that gives you almost like extra confidence when you're buying on the Invest Now app or trading on the app, then you're able to know that at the end of the day, it's a company that I recognize, that I know their offices, that so that helps you and gives you a lot more sort of layer of guidance when you're buying. So I think that's something that would make the experience really worth it for you to start to invest. And there's nothing that is better than having urgent 2K to invest. There's nothing better than it. That urgent 2K just present like this, bam, carry it. They said there's one stock that they're buying. No, let me reach my Invest Now app. I put the money on it and also, yeah, I have done that a lot. So yes, it's the way to go. And I think you're starting to invest now is some of the best decisions you can make for your future.
Thank you very much, Olafemi. Please, I won't let you go yet. I want you to help us with this question. How do you mitigate or adjust for the risks of Naira devaluation?
I think we already spoke about that. I think that's what we say, that's why you invest. That's some of the biggest reasons why I started investing, which is, that there's nothing we can do as individuals to really help the currency. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing, if you're earning today, there's nothing you really can do as an individual. What you can do for yourself to make sure your money is safe is as you earn it, you start to put it in places where it's protected from that inflation. And that's why we're saying you should invest. That's why we're saying that you should put your money in companies, in great companies. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some companies like Abidin said that you invest in and they become delisted. They don't do what they say and stuff. So that's why you need that extra layer of advisory, or you need that extra layer of research, so that you pick great companies that have good dividends, that have been there, that are stalwarts, that are strong enough and cool. Yeah. Then you also now ensure that you also do your own research on it. And also that's the stuff that I think investing is the biggest way to beat inflation. I always say that just putting your money in the bank is great. Your money is safe, but I promise you're not doing yourself any favors if you can invest it.
Thank you very much. So while you were speaking, I was trying to look through all the other questions. So I have some questions to throw at you, but I'm seeing that there's a lot of engagement. Thank you so much to everyone who attended. Most of the questions here, I'm just going to give a general answer that would solve most of these questions. So we have a website, we have an online platform that's called Invest Now. trade.investnow.ng. You can open an account there. You can trade on that platform. You can get advisory on that platform. You can also chat. There's an in-chat system where you can chat customer service to get all your questions answered. So we need you to start doing that. You don't need to see us, but like she said, if you want to come, fine. We're at Marina 57/101 Broad Street. We're there to answer all your questions. You could call us, you can send us emails. We're there for the advisory to help you go through this journey. Don't forget that to start this journey, you need to just take the first step. So stop waiting until you have all the money in the world. Do you get? Stop waiting. Just take that step, and eventually you start to see your wealth grow. At this point, I'd like to give our speakers 1 minute to just drive their points home. I mean, like the panelists, tell us if you've been able to convince and not confuse us. I'll start with Abidin.
Thank you very much, Martha. Thank you for the whole session. I think I'll just take a cue from one point that you just mentioned now, the fact that there's no best time to invest. And you don't have to have a fortune, to start investing. So I think I need to reiterate that contrary to an average mindset investing, you don't need to, have that. And you'll be happy to hear that for most of the successful investors all over the world today that we know about, they started incredibly small. So I would advise that for some of us that are yet to start, that you log on to investnow.ng today to open an account with United Capital Security and start your journey to financial independence. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you so much, Abidin. Shalafemi, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us. What I would end with today is investing is literally buying a day in the future where you don't have to work. No matter how strong you are now, we all pray to grow old and gray and see our kids. What you're doing when you invest is to give you enough money in that time when you don't have the strength to work. And that's why you need to start now. That's why the ease is very important. And that's what, United Capital is offering, with the ease to invest. And very importantly, that's why for us, we're living in beautiful times. I always say great times, which is the time now where it is so easy. Previously, no one had this ease of you have 2K, 1K, put it in the stock market. Now it's that time. So don't let the time pass you by. This is the time to start to invest. So start putting your money to work where you can't, and to really start growing your wealth. So yes, start today, start now. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our very wonderful panelists. It was very interesting having both of you speak about this from a different point of view. When I mean from a different point of view, people like to profile investors and say, well, an investor is this or this. So having both of you give us your idea was really, really fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm very sure that at this point, a lot of people are sold on your argument and they'll start trading. Last but not least, I'm going to emphasize on the point of digital. You can do this from your home. We have a platform that supports this. You can go on that platform. There's advisory. It shows you the statistics of everything that you need to start trading. And there's something Shalafimi said, buying a stock today buys you a day in your future. You don't want to be old and still having to struggle. Everybody wants to, I think millennials and Gen Z, everybody wants to ball. So you have to start making such plans now. You have the advantage of starting early. There's nothing like being late. Every time you discover something, that's the right time to hit it. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. We're available for you guys to reach out to us. We're on all social media platforms, United Capital PLC on Instagram. You can send us a DM. We have people who would attend to you. We're on Twitter, United Capital PLC. We're on Facebook. We're also on LinkedIn. Our website is www.unitedcapitalplcgroup.com. We have plenty channels for you to reach out to us. I want to thank everyone who joined. Also, I want to thank the back team who made all of this possible. Thank you to everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful future, a wonderful, wealthy future. I was going to say wonderful weekend, but I mean wonderful, wealthy future when you start trading. I am Martha Hizeli. Till we bring you back another very fantastic knowledge sharing session with United Capital PLC. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Martha.
Bye.
Bye, Shalafumi.
Bye, everyone.